am Lady Hazelthorn. In every age, in every century, there comes one mind, one restless spirit, that refuses to kneel before the ordinary, a soul born out of conflict, shaped by silence, forged in loneliness, and designed, not by society, not by comfort, not by love, but by destiny. This is not the story of a billionaire, not the tale of a businessman, not even the biography of an inventor. This is the voyage of a cosmic force, a man who looked at the night sky, not as a ceiling, but as a beginning, a man who believed that the future could be rewritten by a single stubborn heart, a man who carried galaxies in the quiet corners of his mind, a man who dared to whisper, "Humanity is meant for more." His name is Elon Musk, but today, we will not speak his name as the world does. We will not celebrate him, nor judge him. We will try to understand him, to trace the fragile cracks in the walls of his childhood, to feel the weight of dreams that burned too bright, to walk with him through storms no man should survive, to witness the price of genius and the loneliness of vision, because behind every achievement, every rocket, every car, every invention, there exists a deeper battlefield, the war inside a man who felt like a stranger in his own life. Let us go back, before Tesla, before SpaceX, before PayPal, before America, before ambition, back to a silent house in Pretoria, back to a little boy who spoke to stars, because people never listened. There is a secret that few understand. Greatness is never born from happiness. It is shaped by wounds that never fully heal. Elon's childhood was not a story, it was a storm, a father whose words felt like steel, cold, sharp, merciless, a world where emotions were forbidden, a home where dreams were mocked, a life where the smallest spark of imagination was treated as wasteful fantasy, but the universe was whispering to him, calling him, pulling him away from the life he was trapped in. Every book he read, every page, was an escape hatch, a window into a world where the impossible was simply not yet achieved. While other children played with toys, he played with dimensions. While others built sandcastles, he built galaxies. While others feared silence, he lived inside it. Little did he know, the silence would define him, would protect him, would one day isolate him. This is the curse of visionaries. They cannot be understood until their work reshapes the world, but even then, the world understands the invention, not the inventor. To see Elon Musk today, the headlines, the controversies, the memes, the interviews, is to miss the true story. Because every revolution he started was born in darkness. Zip2 was not built with excitement, it was built with fear, fear of wasting potential. PayPal was not an ambition, it was survival, a desperate act to prove he belonged in the world. Tesla was not a business, it was an obsession, the impossible fight to save humanity from itself. SpaceX was not a company, it was a rebellion against gravity, against doubt, against the limits of human courage. Neuralink was not innovation, it was a plea to merge humanity with the future, before the future destroyed humanity. And Twitter, X, was not a purchase, it was a battlefield, a chaotic attempt to reshape communication and push freedom to its breaking point. The truth is simple, Elon Musk does not chase success, he chases destiny. He is not a businessman, he is a disruptor, a creator, a destroyer, a builder, a lonely warrior, fighting wars most people cannot even see. But every victory he earned came at a cost, a brutal cost, a mind stretched to breaking, a heart worn thin, relationships shattered, sleep abandoned, health ignored, peace sacrificed. Greatness always demands a price, and Elon Musk paid it in full, again and again, and again. What you are about to hear today is not a tribute. It is not blind admiration, it is not blind criticism either. It is a journey through ambition, through pain, through fire, through triumph, through chaos, and through the fragile humanity hidden behind a global icon, a story told in 10 chapters, 10 storms, 10 rebirths, 10 collisions between a man and his impossible dreams. So take a breath, slow your heartbeat, open your mind, because the story you are about to enter is not just about Elon Musk, it is about the power of obsession, the danger of genius, and the destiny of those who cannot live ordinary lives. Welcome to the journey of the boy who spoke to stars and grew up to bring humanity closer to them. Before the rockets, before the billions, before the headlines, there was only a boy, a quiet boy, a fragile boy, a boy who felt older than his age, and lonelier than his world understood. Pretoria, South Africa, a land of sunlight and shadows. A land where cruelty hid in the corners of ordinary days. A land where childhood should have been gentle. But wasn't. Elon Musk was not born into greatness. He was born into silence. Not the peaceful silence of a calm night, but the heavy silence that follows pain, the silence of an unhappy home, the silence of deeper wounds, the silence of a young mind, trying to make sense of a world that made no sense. His parents, two strong, complicated souls, lived inside storms of their own. But children do not understand adult storms. They only feel the cold. At the center of that coldness stood Elon, a boy with a mind far too vast to fit inside the expectations placed upon him. He saw things differently, felt things differently, imagined things that frightened adults and confused children. He wasn't normal. He wasn't supposed to be. Greatness rarely grows in comfort. It grows in fractures, and Elon Musk's fractures began early. The shadow of his father, Elon's father, Elon Musk, brilliant, intense, unpredictable, cast a long, dark shadow over the household. Words can build a child, but they can also break one. Elon's words were sharp, precise, cutting, the kind of words that didn't leave scars on skin, but left marks far deeper. Elon learned something early: you cannot rely on the world to understand you. He learned to swallow emotions, to hide pain behind silence, to retreat into the safe corners of his mind, corners filled with galaxies, inventions, and impossible futures. This is where genius began, not in brilliance, but in escape. The lonely genius. Children around him laughed, played, shouted, but Elon was different. He walked slower, thought deeper, observed more. Adults thought he wasn't paying attention, but he was noticing everything: shapes, patterns, behaviors, contradictions. People thought he was quiet, but inside his head was a universe roaring with possibilities. He could read for 10 hours straight, without lifting his eyes. He devoured books, like a starving mind eats light: science fiction, engineering, computers, physics, biography, mythology, futurism, space, everything, anything, all at once. By the age of 9, he had read entire encyclopedias. Twice, by the age of 10, he knew the names of rockets, the principles of physics, the patterns of economies. But knowledge didn't make childhood easier, it made it lonelier. Children don't admire the quiet genius, they target him. The bullying. School was not a place of learning for Elon, it was a battleground. South African schools were harsh, a hierarchy of toughness, a culture of dominance. Elon was small for his age, soft-spoken, gentle, different. In playground ecosystems, difference is dangerous. He became a target. The bullying wasn't ordinary, it wasn't teasing, it wasn't childish mischief, it was violent, cruel, unrelenting. They chased him, cornered him, hit him, humiliated him, again and again. One day, the beating was so severe, he lost consciousness and had to be hospitalized. His face was swollen, his body bruised, his nose fractured, but his spirit, his imagination, his inner world, untouched. He learned a secret that would shape his entire life: pain is temporary, purpose is permanent. The world could attack his body, but it could not touch his dreams. The escape into worlds of fiction. Every night, after the noise of the house faded and the world fell quiet, Elon slipped into universes of his own choosing. He read Tolkien, Asimov, Heinlein, Herbert, authors whose words were not stories, but lifelines. He traveled with heroes who fought impossible odds. He learned the architecture of future worlds. He absorbed the philosophy that would one day shape SpaceX and Tesla. He wasn't reading to escape reality, he was reading to design a new one. Books became mentors, ideas became companions, dreams became maps. While bullies tried to crush him physically, fiction rebuilt him mentally. He learned something profound: the world you live in does not have to be the world you stay in. The first spark of destiny. At the age of 10, Elon discovered a new obsession: computers. A simple Commodore VIC-20, cheap, basic, underpowered. But to Elon, it was a doorway. He spent nights learning programming, not from teachers, but from trial, error, frustration, and curiosity. Most children play games, Elon built them. At 12, he wrote a video game called Blaster and sold it for $500. This wasn't a child's achievement, it was a glimpse, a tiny fracture in destiny, through which the future was leaking. The world saw a gifted child, Elon saw something else: if I can create digital worlds, one day I can create physical ones. The seed was planted, the internal war. But genius is not a blessing, not at first. It isolates, separates, divides. Elon was torn between worlds, the world outside, loud, aggressive, cruel, and the world inside, quiet, boundless, infinite. The conflict created a tension that would define his personality forever. Dreamer versus survivor, imagination versus reality, vision versus chaos. Every great inventor carries this battle. Every visionary lives in two universes. Every disruptor is shaped by the world he is trying to escape. Elon learned that loneliness was not an enemy, it was a companion, a teacher, a shield. The world didn't understand him, so he stopped expecting it to. Instead, he turned inward, where rockets, engines, stars, and future civilizations waited to be brought into existence. The broken home, then came the divorce. A child's world shatters quietly, no explosions, no warnings, just silence. Elon felt responsible, children often do. He tried to balance two worlds, his mother's love, his father's intensity, but in the end, the decision to live with his father became a turning point, a painful one, a heavy one, a decision that carved deeper wounds and forged deeper resilience. Life with Elon Musk was complicated, moments of brilliance mixed with moments of emotional brutality. A father who was both intelligent and destructive, both supportive and crushing. Elon absorbed everything. He learned discipline, he learned structure, he learned how to argue, how to defend logic, how to think ruthlessly, but he also learned the cost of being misunderstood. This duality, this contradiction, would later define his leadership style, his intensity, his unbreakable drive. The birth of a survivor. By 14, Elon understood life in ways adults struggled to. He knew pain, he knew conflict, he knew survival, but he also knew that destiny was asking more of him. South Africa was not his future, it was his furnace, the fire that shaped steel. He was ready to leave, to run, to flee, to write a new life in a new land where his dreams would not be mocked, but tested. He didn't want comfort, he wanted possibility. He didn't want safety, he wanted purpose. He didn't want childhood, he wanted a chance. And deep inside him, beneath the bruises, the silence, the loneliness, a whisper began to rise: you are meant for more. A whisper that would one day become a roar that would shake industries, governments, science, and human history itself. The final moments before Exodus. Picture Elon at 17, thin, quiet, awkward, bright, a boy who felt out of place. In his own world, he packed a small suitcase, a few clothes, books, dreams too big to fit. He said goodbye to a country that never understood him, not with tears, but with silence. When he stepped on the airplane, he wasn't just traveling, he was breaking free, leaving behind the bullies, the cold home, the emotional storms, the loneliness, the shadows of childhood. What he carried forward were lessons. Pain becomes fuel, silence becomes strength, loneliness becomes vision, imagination becomes destiny. He didn't know the road ahead would be brutal, harder than anything he had faced, more unforgiving than childhood, but he was ready. Because the hardest part of every hero's journey isn't the battles they face, but the decision to begin, and Elon Musk had begun. Every great journey begins with a moment of silent rebellion. For Elon Musk, that moment arrived at 17, an age far too young to understand destiny, yet old enough to feel the weight of it. South Africa was not simply a home, it was a cage, a place where the walls closed in on anyone who dared to think differently, a place where dreams were treated as luxuries, and dreamers as outcasts. Elon was tired of surviving, he wanted to live. He wanted a world where ideas didn't suffocate under judgment, where imagination wasn't mocked, where ambition wasn't a crime. So he made the decision that would change everything. He would run, not from fear, but toward possibility. The silent departure. There were no crowds at the airport, no sending off ceremony, no dramatic farewell. Just a young boy, with a thin frame, a heavy mind, and a ticket to freedom. He carried one suitcase, a few books, a heart full of contradictions, courage and fear, hope and uncertainty, pain and purpose. As he stepped onto the aircraft, he wasn't only leaving a country, he was leaving a version of himself he could never be again. The boy defined by bruises, silence, and loneliness, that was becoming the young man, defined by vision, focus, and hunger. the flight lifted into the sky, and for the first time in his life, Elon Musk was rising above everything that held him down. He looked out of the window, clouds glowing gold in the sunlight, and he whispered to himself, "This future will be mine." The arrival in Canada, a new world, a harder world, landing in Canada, felt like landing on another planet. Cold winds, strange faces, empty pockets, no planning, no stability, just raw, unfiltered reality. But reality is where greatness is forged. Elon wasn't afraid of hardship. He had known hardship his entire life. What he was afraid of was wasting potential. He had no money, no connections, no comfort. He slept in cheap rooms, on floors, in basements, wherever he could. He took any job he found, heavy checkmark cleaning industrial boilers filled with chemical sludge. Heavy checkmark cutting timber in freezing forests, heavy checkmark shoveling dirt in bitter cold, heavy checkmark working long hours for barely enough money to eat. These were not the struggles people associate with billionaires. These were the struggles that built the foundation for the man the world would one day know. Every job, every bruise, every freezing morning taught him a brutal truth. No one is coming to save you, you save yourself, and so he did. The immigrant's fire. There is a unique flame that burns inside immigrants, a fire fueled by the decision to rebuild life from scratch. Elon didn't see Canada as a country, he saw it as a doorway, a gateway to the United States, the heart of technological revolution. He knew one thing: if he could reach America, the world would no longer ignore him. But dreams require work, endless, unforgiving work. He studied relentlessly, he worked constantly, he saved every dollar, he learned the rules, the culture, the system. Nothing came easily, nothing ever did, but step by step, job by job, book by book, Elon moved closer to the life he was determined to create. The university years, not a student, a weapon. When he finally entered college, Elon Musk wasn't like other students. Most students were there to study, Elon was there to transform. He walked campus grounds with the focus of a soldier. He wasn't interested in parties, distractions, or temporary pleasures. He devoured knowledge, the way starving men devour food. Economics, physics, AI, energy systems, engineering, rocket science, philosophy. His friends noticed something unusual. He didn't study to pass exams, he studied to change the future. He filled notebooks with ideas so ambitious they felt like madness. Colonizing Mars, electric cars at global scale, solar-powered cities, hyperloops, human AI integration, online banking, space industry privatization, ideas even professors could not comprehend. He wasn't dreaming, he was planning, preparing, sharpening the sword he would one day unleash on the world. The question that changed everything. During one late-night conversation, a friend asked him a simple question: "Elon, why do you work so hard?" Elon paused, thought deeply, and answered, "Because someone has to save the future." Those weren't the words of a student, those were the words of a man beginning to understand his mission. He believed humanity was moving toward a cliff. Slowly, blindly, dangerously. Climate change, energy collapse, AI threats, space stagnation. He believed technology could be the salvation or the downfall of civilization. He knew it wouldn't be enough to create a company or make money or become famous. He would have to build industries, shift paradigms, challenge gravity, challenge governments, challenge fate itself. He wasn't preparing for a career, he was preparing for war. The decision to change history. After years of sacrifice, years of cold nights and hard labor, years of absorbing knowledge, like oxygen, Elon Musk made the decision that would ignite everything to come. He would go to America. Not for comfort, but for battle. America was the arena where dreamers either became legends or disappeared. He didn't fear failure, he feared something far worse: dying without trying. So he left Canada behind, but carried every lesson with him. The labor, the loneliness, the survival, the discipline. Canada taught him how to endure pain. America would teach him how to shape destiny. The moment he crossed the border, imagine Elon Musk standing at the US border, thin, determined, eyes filled with the fire of 1,000 impossible plans. He wasn't wealthy, he wasn't important, he wasn't famous, but he was dangerous. Because dangerous people are simply ordinary people with extraordinary resolve. He crossed the border with no money, no safety, no guarantee. All he had was the belief that he was meant to build what no one else dared to imagine, a belief that he could change the world, not someday, not eventually, but now, and destiny, silent but watching, moved aside and let him enter. The end of Part 2, The Man Becoming the Weapon. The boy from Pretoria was no longer a victim, no longer running, no longer afraid. He was becoming the most ambitious mind of his generation. Canada had carved him, America would forge him. The child who spoke to stars was now ready to build machines that would reach them. The world did not know it yet, but the future had just gained its most relentless architect, and Elon Musk had just begun. Elon Musk arrived in America with nothing but determination, curiosity, and an unshakable belief in the impossible. The United States was unlike any place he had ever seen. It was vast, chaotic, and filled with opportunity and danger. To survive here, one had to be relentless, adaptive, and audacious. For Elon, survival was no longer enough. He was determined to shape the future. The university years fueling a mind of steel. Elon enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania, where he studied economics at the Wharton School and physics at the College of Arts and Sciences. He walked campus grounds like a man possessed. Other students socialized. Elon observed patterns. He analyzed systems. He asked questions no one else dared to ask. Physics wasn't just a subject, it was a lens to predict the limits of the universe. Economics wasn't just a degree, it was a blueprint to predict human behavior. While his peers sought leisure, Elon sought control over energy, transportation, space, and the very systems that governed society. The early entrepreneurial spark. During his college years, Elon began experimenting with his first businesses. Heavy Checkmark, a software company that allowed people to send bulk faxes over the internet. Heavy Checkmark exploring ideas for digital payment systems. These ventures were not simple side projects. They were laboratories for understanding markets, technology, and human psychology. He quickly realized that the world rewarded risk and execution. Ideas without action were worthless. Vision without implementation was irrelevant. From the start, Elon approached business as he did life, relentlessly, strategically, and without compromise. The drive that set him apart. Elon had no patience for mediocrity. He didn't measure time in weeks or months. He measured it in progress toward a monumental goal. Every hour was a building block. Every sleepless night was an investment. Every failure was data. While others saw college as a path to a career, Elon saw it as a training ground for conquest. He became intensely focused on technology, energy, and space, seeing opportunities where others only saw risk. The first big idea, Zip2. After college, Elon and his brother Kimball Musk co-founded Zip2, a company providing online business directories and maps for newspapers. This was a turning point. For the first time, Elon had real exposure to the intersection of technology, capital, and ambition. He lived and breathed Zip2, sleeping on floors, working long hours, negotiating with investors. He quickly realized that success demanded sacrifice beyond imagination. Zip2 wasn't just a company. It was his first playground for destiny. The lessons of early failure and success. Building Zip2 taught Elon 3 crucial lessons. Relentless focus beats talent alone. Speed and execution matter more than perfection. The world will resist your vision until you make it undeniable. These lessons would become the backbone of every venture Elon ever attempted: PayPal, Tesla, SpaceX, SolarCity, Neuralink, and beyond. He also learned that entrepreneurship is not glamorous, it is brutal, exhausting, and unforgiving. But for Elon, this was a thrill, not a deterrent. The sale of Zip2, first glimpse of victory. In 1999, Compaq acquired Zip2 for nearly $300 million. To the outside world, it was success. To Elon, it was a stepping stone. He pocketed millions, but more importantly, he gained confidence, credibility, and the belief that he could take ideas from conception to reality. He wasn't interested in wealth, he was interested in leverage. He wanted capital, yes, but to fund ideas that could reshape civilization. PayPal, mastering the finance of the future. Next came X.com, which would later become PayPal. Elon envisioned a world where online payments were seamless, efficient, and secure. He saw not just a business opportunity, but a platform that could revolutionize commerce worldwide. It was during PayPal that Elon first faced true adversity: leadership conflicts, investor pressure, technical challenges, public scrutiny, yet, he thrived under pressure. He made impossible decisions, often risking personal relationships and enduring relentless stress. When eBay acquired PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Elon's wealth grew, but his ambitions only expanded further. He didn't pause. He didn't celebrate, he didn't rest. He looked outward, toward the stars, toward energy, toward a future that no one else dared to imagine, the first glimpse of a grand vision. By this point, Elon Musk had learned the key to changing the world. Start with impossible ideas, relentlessly pursue them, accept personal sacrifice, use failure as fuel. He began dreaming bigger than ever before. Heavy checkmark electric cars at global scale, heavy checkmark reusable rockets, heavy checkmark sustainable energy, heavy checkmark colonizing Mars, heavy checkmark advancing human intelligence. He was no longer simply building companies. He was architecting the future of humanity itself. The lesson of relentless pursuit. The young man who had fled South Africa, who had survived laborious jobs in Canada, who had built businesses from nothing, was now stepping onto a path that would challenge industries, governments, and even nature itself. Elon Musk's genius wasn't just intellect, it was the ability to endure, to obsess, to act, and to imagine relentlessly. He had transformed from a survivor into a visionary, from a boy who hid in silence, into a man who would speak boldly to the universe. After the sale of PayPal, most people would have rested, most people would have sought comfort, stability, even luxury. But Elon Musk is not most people. He was not content with personal wealth, he was obsessed with changing humanity's trajectory. And the first frontier, energy and transportation. The world relied on fossil fuels, it polluted the planet, it restrained humanity's potential, and Elon Musk had no patience for delay. The vision of Tesla, electric cars existed before Tesla, but they were impractical, slow, and dismissed as toys. Elon saw an opportunity not just to build a car, but to transform an industry. He envisioned electric vehicles that were fast, desirable, and technologically advanced. Tesla Motors was born, not just as a company, but as a statement of intent. Humanity could evolve, technology could empower, the future could arrive sooner than expected. Elon poured his wealth, energy, and obsession into Tesla. Every engineering decision, every financial move, every public statement, was calculated to achieve the impossible. The struggle begins. Tesla's journey was far from easy. Engineers doubted feasibility. Factories ran behind schedule. Investors threatened to withdraw support. Media criticized every misstep. Every day felt like walking a tightrope over a canyon. One misstep could collapse the dream entirely, but Elon thrives in chaos. Where others panic, he strategizes. Where others quit, he doubles down. He became known as relentless, demanding, and visionary, a man willing to risk his fortune, reputation, and health to push the boundaries of possibility. The Roadster. Proof of concept. Tesla's first car, the Roadster, was proof of a radical vision. It shattered myths about electric vehicles, 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds, sleek, aerodynamic design, high-performance battery technology. The Roadster wasn't just a product, it was a declaration. Electric cars can be aspirational, they can compete with gasoline vehicles, they can change the way humanity moves. For Elon, every success was just a checkpoint. Failure was only temporary, the mission was permanent. The crucible of Tesla. Despite early success, Tesla faced near collapse multiple times, financial crises, production delays, investor panic, intense media scrutiny. At one point, Elon invested all his personal fortune to keep Tesla alive. He slept on factory floors, he worked 120-hour weeks, he made impossible decisions with life-or-death consequences for his company. Tesla wasn't just a car company. It was Elon's vision manifesting, a belief that humanity could transition to sustainable energy before the planet's resources became irreversible. Solar energy and sustainability. Tesla alone was not enough. Elon extended his vision to energy generation and storage. Solar City, making solar energy accessible and mainstream. Powerwall, storing energy efficiently for home and industry. Every step of the way, Elon challenged norms. Why should energy be centralized? Why should it pollute? Why should the public not have access to clean power? Tesla and Solar City were not just companies. They were a movement toward planetary survival, the personal sacrifice, the battle for Tesla took a personal toll. Strained relationships, sleepless nights, health challenges, public criticism, friends, investors, and employees often described Elon as relentless, almost merciless, yet every sacrifice was strategic, every risk deliberate, every pressure point a tool to achieve a higher purpose, ensuring humanity had a sustainable future. Tesla's impact on the world. By the 2010s, Tesla was not just surviving, it was reshaping the automotive industry. Legacy automakers began prioritizing electric vehicles. Charging infrastructure expanded globally.
Public perception of EVs transformed from impractical to aspirational. Elon Musk's vision had achieved what few thought possible. He made the world chase him. Tesla became a symbol, not of personal wealth, but of human potential, innovation, and courage. Lessons of Tesla. Through Tesla, Elon demonstrated 4 core truths. Vision outweighs comfort. He risked everything for a dream. Persistence overcomes doubt. Failure was never final. Innovation requires audacity. The impossible was simply a target. Personal sacrifice is inevitable. Greatness demands it. Tesla was more than cars. It was a declaration. Humanity could change, evolve, and survive. And Elon Musk was willing to fight personally for that future. The stage is set for space. Tesla was only the beginning. If energy and transportation could be transformed, why not space itself? Elon Musk now turned his gaze upward, toward the stars, toward the next frontier, where humans could not only survive, but thrive. The battle for Earth was underway. The battle for Mars would follow. Elon Musk looked up at the sky and saw what most humans ignored, not just the stars, but possibility itself. Earth was limited. Politics, resources, and climate constrained humanity's growth. If life was to survive, it had to expand. Elon asked the question few dared: why should humans remain confined to a single planet? The birth of SpaceX. In 2002, Elon Musk founded Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, or SpaceX. It was not a hobby. It was not a vanity project. It was a mission to ensure the survival of human civilization. SpaceX was audacious: build rockets that could return safely to Earth, cut the cost of space travel, make Mars colonization achievable within a human lifetime. Investors scoffed. Engineers doubted. Experts dismissed. The odds were stacked against him, and yet, Elon pressed forward. The first rockets, failure after failure. SpaceX's early years were brutal. The first 3 launches of Falcon 1 failed spectacularly. Media mocked. Investors threatened to withdraw. Elon invested his personal fortune repeatedly, risking bankruptcy. But each failure was a lesson. Design flaws became insights. Costly errors became opportunities. Risk became a tool for learning. Elon's mindset was unique. If it's not failing, it's not ambitious enough. Falcon 1's success, a turning point. In 2008, after years of relentless effort, Falcon 1 successfully reached orbit. It was a quiet moment in history, but a seismic shift for human potential. The world had laughed at SpaceX. Now, they had to pay attention. Elon had proven private enterprise could compete with governments in space. The impossible was now real. The Falcon 9 and reusable rockets. Elon's vision didn't stop at orbit. SpaceX pioneered Falcon 9, a rocket designed to return and land vertically. Why? Because cost must not limit humanity. Why? Because reusable rockets make exploration scalable. Why? Because the stars demand audacity. Elon famously slept on factory floors, reviewed every engineering diagram personally, and demanded perfection beyond belief. Critics called him obsessive. Supporters called him relentless. History would call him visionary. Commercial contracts and NASA. SpaceX secured contracts with NASA, becoming the first private company to deliver cargo to the International Space Station. This was more than business. It was proof that private vision could achieve what governments alone could not. Elon now controlled leverage over technology, funding, and talent. He had the tools to push humanity beyond Earth. The Mars colony vision. Every rocket SpaceX built served a singular purpose: to make life multiplanetary. Elon envisioned cities on Mars, self-sustaining colonies, interplanetary transportation, terraforming possibilities. SpaceX was not about prestige, it was about survival, and Elon worked tirelessly to inspire the world to see the stars as a reachable home, not just a distant dream. Personal sacrifices. SpaceX's successes came at enormous cost: strained family relationships, health challenges, public scrutiny, enormous financial risk. He invested billions of his own fortune, often risking personal bankruptcy, while facing criticism for gambling with humanity's future. Yet for Elon, the stakes were never money, the stakes were life itself, the stakes were the continuation of human civilization. The lessons of space. From SpaceX, we learn, vision is larger than fear. Elon gambled billions for the survival of humanity. Failure is necessary. Without repeated failure, innovation is impossible. Persistence beats expertise. Determination can overcome any technical obstacle. Sacrifice is inevitable. Great endeavors require personal risk. SpaceX became not just a company, but a symbol of audacity, resilience, and human ambition. The stage is set for galactic ambition, with Tesla transforming energy on Earth, and SpaceX aiming to make life multiplanetary. Elon Musk's vision was clear: humanity must survive, evolve, and thrive. The Earth was just the beginning, Mars was the future, and Elon Musk was the man building the bridge. Elon Musk had already transformed energy with Tesla and space with SpaceX, but to him, humanity's survival required more than cars and rockets. It required reinventing transportation, intelligence, and the way humans interact with the world itself. He began asking the next question: how can we make life faster, smarter, and safer? The Hyperloop, speed without limits, traffic congestion, slow progress. To Elon, these were not inconveniences, they were problems humanity should solve. The Hyperloop was born, a high-speed transport system capable of moving people at over 700 miles per hour, in near-vacuum tubes, using magnetic levitation. It was audacious. It was impractical by traditional standards. It was almost impossible, but Elon Musk thrived on the impossible. He released his ideas publicly, encouraging engineers and visionaries around the world to build, iterate, and innovate. The Hyperloop was not just a transportation concept, it was a symbol of human ambition, to defy limits, to question norms, to imagine futures that seem impossible today. Neuralink, merging human and machine. While rockets and cars conquered the physical world, Elon Musk turned his attention to the mind itself. He saw the rise of AI as both opportunity and threat. If humans were to survive the age of intelligent machines, we needed to enhance cognition and interface directly with technology. Neuralink was born, a company developing brain-machine interfaces, designed to allow humans to communicate with computers, augment memory, and even treat neurological diseases. Critics called it science fiction, others called it dangerous. Elon called it necessary for the survival of humanity. Through Neuralink, he confronted questions no one else dared. What does it mean to be human? Can we merge intelligence with machines safely? How do we preserve free will in a world dominated by AI? The answers were uncertain, but Elon's commitment was absolute. He believed the future belonged to those who acted boldly before certainty existed. The borrowed time of innovation, every venture demanded time, energy, and focus. Elon Musk became a living paradox, a CEO managing multiple companies simultaneously, a visionary dreaming decades ahead, a problem solver tackling engineering, financial, and human challenges daily. He slept minimally, he sacrificed comfort, he worked 100-hour weeks. Elon's mind was always in motion, calculating, inventing, iterating, improving, and yet, through all this, he embraced failure as a tool. Every setback was data, every criticism was fuel. Every impossible challenge was an opportunity. The ethos of radical thinking. From Hyperloop to Neuralink, Elon's philosophy is clear: think boldly, don't let limits define imagination, act relentlessly, vision without action is meaningless, solve for humanity, ideas must serve civilization, not ego, embrace failure, risk is the price of transformation. Each new venture pushes the boundaries of human perception, each idea challenges not only technology but societal norms. Elon Musk does not follow trends, he creates them. Future transportation and beyond Hyperloop, Elon envisioned autonomous vehicles revolutionizing safety and efficiency, AI-assisted city infrastructure, global renewable energy integration, interplanetary logistics connecting Earth and Mars. For Elon, speed is not just physical, it is cognitive and societal. Humanity must adapt faster than challenges evolve, or risk stagnation and collapse. The human element. Despite his machine-like efficiency, Elon understands humanity intimately: motivation, curiosity, fear, desire. Each venture, Tesla, SpaceX, Hyperloop, Neuralink, addresses human limitations, fossil fuel dependency, space confinement, slow transportation, cognitive constraints. Every innovation carries a deeper purpose, to preserve human potential and expand it. The price of vision, ambition of this magnitude comes at cost, strained personal relationships, public scrutiny, and criticism, sleep deprivation and exhaustion, emotional isolation. Yet Elon accepts these costs willingly, believing the stakes, the survival and evolution of humanity, far exceed personal comfort. The Frontiers of Humanity, Part 6 demonstrates Elon Musk's mastery over three realms: Earth, sustainable energy and transportation; space, colonization and multiplanetary survival; mind, human intelligence and brain-machine interfaces. He is building the foundation of a new civilization, where speed, intelligence, and adaptability are essential for survival. For Elon Musk, the future is not distant, it is a present he is actively shaping, and he is determined that humanity will rise to meet it, or risk being left behind. Elon Musk's story is not only about rockets, cars, and neural networks, it is about the human being behind the vision, a man who has faced isolation, criticism, personal struggles, and heartbreak, yet never allowed them to derail his mission. Success is often glorified, but few see the cost: sleep-deprived nights, personal sacrifices, and relationships strained to the breaking point, childhood trauma revisited. Even as an adult, Elon carried the echoes of a difficult childhood: bullying and isolation, complex parental relationships, early exposure to harsh realities. These experiences shaped his resilience. They taught him adversity is inevitable, but survival is a choice. Every setback, every insult, every moment of loneliness became fuel for ambition rather than chains of limitation. Relationships and family. Elon Musk's personal life has been intensely scrutinized: multiple marriages and partnerships, parenting 5 children, balancing work with family. He has admitted publicly the struggle of juggling extreme responsibilities, work consuming 80 to 100 hours per week, physical and mental exhaustion, the tension between personal life and global impact. Yet, his love for his children and family remains central. Even amidst corporate battles and global endeavors, he finds grounding in human connections. The pressure of public scrutiny. Elon's life is lived under the microscope of global attention. Social media controversies, public criticism for decisions at Tesla, SpaceX, and beyond, investor and media pressure. The pressure could have destroyed many. For Elon, it became motivation. Criticism was data, scrutiny was a mirror, mistakes were lessons, not failures. He learned early: the world will always judge before understanding. Success requires endurance, vision, and thick skin. Health and endurance. Elon Musk's lifestyle is legendary: extreme work hours, minimal sleep, high cognitive load. He has faced periods of severe stress, exhaustion, and mental strain, yet, resilience has been a hallmark of his personality, adapting, continuing, and enduring when most would collapse. His approach demonstrates a profound truth: greatness is not just talent, it is uncompromising perseverance. The role of failure. Failure has been a constant companion: rockets exploding, cars delayed, businesses threatened with bankruptcy. Yet Elon treats failure differently. It is not defeat, it is feedback; not despair, it is instruction. He embodies the principle: if something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are against you. Every failure builds the foundation for future success. Every mistake sharpens the edge of innovation. Every challenge reinforces resilience. Personal sacrifices for global vision. To achieve his goals, Elon Musk sacrifices personal comfort and sometimes personal happiness. Social life is minimal, sleep is limited, emotional isolation is frequent, but he willingly accepts this. He believes that personal discomfort is a price worth paying for humanity's progress. Elon does not chase recognition or applause, he chases impact and transformation. The human element behind the visionary. Despite the machine-like efficiency, Elon remains human. He feels doubt, frustration, and fear. He struggles with emotional complexity. He values love, curiosity, and family, yet he channels these human traits into creative energy. The emotional weight becomes propulsion, not limitation. It is this balance of human vulnerability and relentless drive that makes him extraordinary. Lessons of Resilience. From Part 7, we learn 4 essential truths. Adversity shapes greatness, early trauma and challenges build mental armor, endurance is key, long-term vision requires sacrifice and persistence. Failure is a tool, mistakes guide refinement and innovation. Humanity grounds ambition, even a visionary remains rooted in connection and empathy. Elon Musk demonstrates that true resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to transform struggle into power. The stage is set for the next frontier. Elon Musk's personal struggles and sacrifices have forged him into a leader of vision. The human behind the legend has endured, learned, and strengthened, now, with Tesla. Transforming energy, SpaceX reaching the stars, and innovations like Neuralink and Hyperloop advancing human potential, the world watches as Elon Musk tackles the ultimate frontiers: artificial intelligence, sustainable energy infrastructure, interplanetary civilization, and all of it is propelled by resilience, courage, and an unyielding sense of purpose. Elon Musk's vision is not confined to rockets, cars, or energy. He sees a future where intelligence, human and artificial, will define survival. The stakes are immense. Technology advances faster than society's capacity to adapt. Artificial intelligence threatens to surpass human intelligence, and the consequences could be profound. Elon does not merely predict the future, he builds it, while warning humanity of its own potential risks. The AI dilemma. Artificial intelligence offers incredible opportunity, automation and efficiency. Advanced problem-solving, scientific breakthroughs, expansion of human capabilities, but Elon recognizes the danger. Uncontrolled AI could surpass human intelligence, making humans obsolete or vulnerable. He famously stated, "With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon." His caution is not fear-mongering, it is a call to responsible innovation. OpenAI, a guardian of human intelligence. To mitigate risks, Elon co-founded OpenAI, a research organization dedicated to safe and aligned AI development. OpenAI's mission: advance AI capabilities responsibly. Ensure AI benefits all of humanity, avoid concentration of power in uncontrolled systems. Through this initiative, Elon combines vision, ethics, and technology, pushing society to think critically about its future. Neuralink, the human brain as the ultimate frontier. While AI evolves externally, Elon also explores internal intelligence through Neuralink, brain-machine interfaces, cognitive augmentation, real-time interaction with computers, potential treatment for neurological disorders. For Elon, Neuralink is more than technology, it is human survival. The fusion of mind and machine ensures that humans remain relevant in an AI-driven world. He envisions a future where humans can think faster, remember more, and adapt instantly, bridging the gap between biological and artificial intelligence. The urgency of the future. Elon Musk works under an acute sense of urgency. Time is finite, resources are limited, and the consequences of inaction are catastrophic. Climate change threatens Earth's stability. AI poses existential risk. Space colonization is a narrow window for survival. Every project, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, Hyperloop, is part of a larger timeline to ensure humanity thrives, not just survives. He does not work for legacy or fame, he works for humanity's future. The challenge of implementation, turning ambitious visions into reality, is never simple. Engineers encounter technical roadblocks. Investors question feasibility. Public perception oscillates between awe and skepticism. Regulatory systems lag behind innovation. Elon thrives in this friction. He embraces resistance as a test of resolve. If the world says it is impossible, Elon sees opportunity. AI, energy, and space, a trinity of future domains. Elon's strategy spans 3 critical areas: energy, sustainable infrastructure through Tesla and Solar City; space, ensuring humanity is multiplanetary via SpaceX; intelligence, balancing human and artificial cognition through AI and Neuralink. Each domain addresses a fundamental threat: energy scarcity and climate crisis, planetary vulnerability, cognitive obsolescence. Through these initiatives, Elon positions humanity to survive and thrive in the 21st century and beyond. Ethical responsibility and vision. Elon Musk combines technical brilliance with ethical foresight. AI must be aligned with human values. Space colonization must avoid ecological harm. Neural augmentation must preserve autonomy. he embodies a rare combination: a futurist, engineer, entrepreneur, and philosopher. His work challenges not just industries, but the moral and intellectual framework of civilization itself. Lessons from the Future. Part 8 teaches critical truths about technology and human ambition. Act before the crisis arrives. Preparation is survival. Fusion of disciplines is essential. Energy, space, and intelligence are interconnected. Ethics cannot be optional. Power without responsibility is catastrophic. Urgency drives impact. Every second matters in shaping the future. Elon Musk demonstrates that vision without action is meaningless, and action without ethics is dangerous. The stage is set for global impact. As Tesla electrifies transportation, SpaceX reaches the stars, and Neuralink and AI redefine intelligence, Elon Musk positions himself not only as an innovator, but as a guardian of humanity's trajectory. He is racing against time, not for wealth or fame, but to secure the future of civilization itself. Elon Musk's journey has always been more than business. It is a saga of vision, risk, resilience, and transformation. From a lonely boy in Pretoria to the founder of companies shaping energy, transportation, space, and intelligence, he is crafting a legacy that will endure for generations. Tesla, changing the way we move. Tesla has fundamentally altered the automotive industry. Electric cars are now desirable, powerful, and mainstream. Global automakers are racing to electrify their fleets. Public perception shifted. Sustainability is now aspirational, not niche. Beyond technology, Tesla inspires. People now believe innovation can challenge the impossible. The legacy of Tesla is a world that moves faster, cleaner, and smarter. SpaceX, redefining human ambition. SpaceX has done more than launch rockets, lowered the cost of space travel, made private companies viable in aerospace, expanded the vision of humanity to Mars and beyond. Through reusable rockets, Starship, and ambitious Mars plans, Elon is shaping a future where life is multiplanetary. This is a legacy of audacity, courage, and survival. AI and Neuralink, shaping the mind of tomorrow. With AI, OpenAI, and Neuralink, Elon tackles cognitive evolution, ensuring humans can thrive alongside artificial intelligence, enhancing neural capacity for a new era of learning and creativity, bridging the gap between human intelligence and machine intelligence. His work safeguards humanity not just physically, but mentally and ethically, ensuring the human mind evolves with technology. Hyperloop and future transport. Hyperloop and autonomous transport projects push society to rethink commuting and logistics, reduce travel times dramatically, integrate renewable energy into infrastructure. Elon's innovations challenge the speed and scale of modern civilization. The human element of impact. Elon's influence is more than technological, inspires entrepreneurs to think bigger, challenges industries to innovate or perish, sparks debates on ethics, AI, and the future of civilization, motivates humanity to aim for unprecedented achievement. His legacy is measured not only in inventions, but in how humanity approaches possibility itself. Personal sacrifice as a foundation. The global impact comes at personal cost: time with family, health, emotional stability, public scrutiny, yet every sacrifice is aligned with a larger mission, preserving and advancing humanity. Elon shows that legacy is not about comfort, it is about courage, sacrifice, and vision. Building a culture of innovation. Elon Musk has also created organizations that embody his principles: high expectations and relentless pursuit of excellence, encouragement of creative thinking and risk-taking, acceptance of failure as a necessary component of success. Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and other ventures are more than companies, they are schools for the next generation of innovators. Global and civilizational impact. Elon Musk's work influences multiple dimensions of human life, environment, clean energy and sustainable solutions, technology, AI, neural enhancement, transportation innovations, space, making humans a multiplanetary species, society, inspiring a culture of bold vision and relentless execution. The impact is not hypothetical, it is tangible, measurable, and ongoing. The lesson of legacy. From Part 9, we learn, impact exceeds personal ambition, true vision changes the world, not just a career. Risk and reward are inseparable, transformation demands courage, innovation requires ethics, progress without responsibility is hollow. resilience shapes civilization. Perseverance fuels change across generations. Elon Musk is not only creating companies, he is shaping history. He is laying foundations for a civilization that survives, evolves, and thrives. The future beckons. As Tesla accelerates the shift to sustainable energy, SpaceX pushes humanity toward Mars, Neuralink expands human intelligence, and Hyperloop challenges transportation norms. The world is witnessing a legacy in the making, a legacy defined by courage, vision, and relentless pursuit of the impossible. Elon Musk reminds us that human potential is not fixed, it is invented, nurtured, and relentlessly expanded. Every journey has a destination, yet for visionaries like Elon Musk, the destination is never truly final. Each achievement is a stepping stone, a platform for the next challenge, the next frontier. From a lonely boy in Pretoria to a man shaping the future of Earth, space, and the human mind, Elon Musk's story is far from over. The ongoing mission. Elon Musk has always looked beyond the present. Mars colonization is not a dream, it is a plan. AI integration is not speculation, it is a necessity. Sustainable energy is not optional, it is survival. High-speed transportation is not luxury, it is evolution. The question he asks himself daily is simple but profound: how can humanity endure and flourish over the next century? Every project he leads, every decision he makes, is designed to answer that question. Space and Mars, multiplanetary survival. SpaceX continues to push the boundaries of exploration. Starship rockets capable of transporting humans to Mars, reusable rockets lowering the cost of interplanetary travel, long-term vision of self-sustaining Martian colonies. Elon envisions Mars not just as a destination, but as insurance for humanity, a backup for civilization in case Earth faces catastrophic challenges. The colonization of Mars represents audacity at its peak, a plan few can imagine, let alone execute. Energy and Earth, sustainable civilization. Tesla and SolarCity continue to accelerate the global transition to renewable energy. Electric vehicles reducing fossil fuel dependence, battery storage solutions stabilizing energy grids, solar integration enabling clean power for homes and industries. Elon sees energy as the backbone of civilization. Without sustainable power, none of his other visions, space, AI, or interplanetary life, can survive. He works relentlessly to ensure Earth itself remains habitable. The mind and AI, ensuring intelligent survival. With Neuralink and AI initiatives, Elon addresses the cognitive frontier, brain-machine interfaces augmenting human intelligence, safe AI development through organizations like OpenAI, preparing humans to coexist with increasingly powerful technology. For Elon, intelligence is survival. The next era will belong to those who can adapt mentally as fast as technology evolves. The ethics of future technologies. Elon Musk's future is not just technological, it is moral, ensuring AI benefits all of humanity, preventing monopolization of interplanetary resources, balancing risk and reward in global innovations. He embodies the rare combination of visionary, engineer, entrepreneur, and philosopher, building technologies that challenge civilization while preserving its ethical foundation. The legacy of relentless vision. The ultimate lesson of Elon Musk's life: dreams must be audacious, incremental change is not enough, vision requires action, ideas alone do not transform reality, sacrifice is inevitable, personal discomfort is the cost of impact. Resilience shapes civilization, the world follows those who endure. Elon Musk's legacy is not wealth, it is the expansion of human potential, the survival of civilization, and the courage to shape the impossible. The future is unwritten. Elon continues to push humanity forward. Tesla innovates energy storage and transportation, SpaceX advances interplanetary travel, Neuralink merges mind and machine, AI research ensures intelligence serves, not dominates, humanity, and beyond these, new challenges await: climate adaptation on a global scale, terraforming and colonizing new worlds, integrating human consciousness with evolving technology, inspiring a global culture of innovation and responsibility. The story of Elon Musk is a story of the future in motion. The final reflection. Elon Musk's journey shows us what is possible when vision surpasses fear, action exceeds intention, resilience overcomes adversity, ethics guide ambition. From a boy with a dream to a man reshaping civilization, he demonstrates that humanity's potential is not predetermined, it is invented. We are witnessing the rise of someone who not only imagines the future, but builds it, brick by brick, rocket by rocket, neuron by neuron. The future of humanity is intertwined with the future of his vision, and while the challenges are immense, Elon Musk shows us that courage, persistence, and imagination can turn the impossible into reality. I'm Lady Hazelthorn, and so, dear listeners, this is the story of a man who refused to be ordinary, from a lonely, determined boy in South Africa, to a visionary shaping the future of Earth, space, and the human mind. Elon Musk's journey is one of courage, resilience, and relentless ambition. I have shared with you every step, from childhood struggles, to the first sparks of entrepreneurship, to transforming energy, transportation, and even the very limits of human intelligence. But perhaps the greatest lesson is not the rockets, the electric cars, or the neural interfaces. It is this, that the power to shape the future lies in our vision, our perseverance, and our willingness to act, even against all odds. As I recount his story to you today, remember that the world's impossible dreams are only waiting for someone brave enough to reach for them, and maybe, just maybe, the spark that ignites the future is already inside you.